Ladies and gentlemen, as we move further, please join me in welcoming Shri Sanjiv Nandan Sahai, Director General, Power Foundation of India, who will now address all of us. Sir.
Mr. Bhalla, Secretary MNRE, Mr. Gurdeep Singh, CMD NTPC, Dr. Tripta Thakur, DG NPTI, Dhruvo, Dr. Sharan, Mr. Dillon, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice to see that there are some people at least interested in DRE. In Goa, in the CM, I had recounted a story, but I will tell that again because the audience is different. In fact, I'll tell you two stories today. First is this film called Swadesh. I don't know how many have you seen it. In 2004, when a NASA scientist who comes back to India looking for his nanny goes to a village, and the village has no electricity. So he works out and builds a micro-hydel station, and the film ends with an old lady who sees the bulb light up, and in her lifetime, she feels that she has seen electricity in her house. The question then was, that was 2004, and 2018, we had electrified most households in India, so what is the role of micro-hydel or distributed energy generation? The second story is a film that I saw BBC, an award-winning film called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. This is about a story of a boy in a village in Malawi, in Africa, poor village, beset by droughts. Poverty is there. His parents can't afford to send him to school. He's kicked out of school because he couldn't pay fees. But it's a driven boy, very driven. He goes to the library, talks to the librarian, and is able to pull out books and read. And with bicycle parts and a dynamo and a windmill that he constructs, he is able to make an irrigation pump, generate electricity for his home, and irrigate the plants and bring about a change in the livelihoods. Very touching story. One was about electricity in household, the other is about electricity to be used for agriculture. In my mind, DRE, as I said earlier, covers 3 E's, and one is environmentally friendly. That doesn't require much explanation. It is efficient in terms of cost. You don't have to spend or lose energy in transporting it over wires. It's locally produced, locally consumed. It is Equitas because it generates additional farm income, because what was hitherto wasted now becomes an input into generation of electricity. Or, I stand corrected because Gurdeep did point out that it is energy, and bio-CNG or compressed bio-CNG is something which is now getting a lot of traction. So there is income, there is efficiency, and it's environmentally sustainable. But what these two films did show was these were sporadic events, and what we have in India are, disparate, sporadic efforts. You have something by Yogeshwarji, micro-hydel in the hills. You have something done by an organization which collects pine needles, chars them and creates pellets, etc. You have Desi Power in northeastern Bihar. You have Tata Power's subsidiary working in UP and parts of Bihar. But these are all different small organizations, and the question that we need to actually constantly address is this financially sustainable through its own business models. Anything which depends on subsidy over a sustained period of time is not sustainable. It is not over a period of time. Subsidies can be given to crank up a system. It is not something which can go on forever. And what came out was that rural household electrification or consumption of electricity, that's not where the business case for DRE lies. The business case for DRE lies in local micro and mini enterprises where they want sustained, clear, assured power, and which is not subsidized. The second question that one needs to ask actually is the true cost of solar power, which is pushed from large farms in Gujarat, Rajasthan to UP, Bihar, etc. And what is the hidden cost and subsidy? And can that be utilized when the true cost is seen? Can that be utilized to see whether local DRE is, and if it is cheaper, can that be a business case for even discoms to take in as feed-in tariff? I don't want to stand between you and Mr. Bhalla, who's actually championing Suryodaya, etc., and DRE would actually come in his domain. I'm very keen to hear what he has to say. So may I now request Mr. Bhalla to give his keynote address. Thank you very much.